प्रसीद प्रसीद मातः जगतोऽखिलस्य प्रसीद विश्वेश्वरि पाहि विश्वं त्वमीश्वरी देवी चराचरस्य त्वं वैष्णवी शक्तिरनन्तवीर्या विश्वस्य बीजं परमासि माया सम्मोहितं देवि समस्तमेतत् त्वं वै प्रसन्ना भुवि मुक्तिहेतुः।
ॐ गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ श्रीमात्रे नमः। We continue with Devi Mahatmyam. Now we enter into Uttama Charitram, and this has 6 chapters. So now today we will deal with the chapter 5. The whole of the Uttama Charitram is about vanquishing the Asuras, Shumbha and Nishumbha. Shumbha and Nishumbha, they are the sons of sage Kashyapa and Danu. Now what I will do here is, I will try to follow the slokas with the meaning, and later on, today or tomorrow, when I find the time, I'll try to state the story in simple words so that the whole family can listen, all the young children and the family can listen to it leisurely. Now we enter into the 5th chapter. In this Uttara Charita, Rudra is the Rishi. The corresponding deity is Mahasaraswati. The poetic meter is Anushtup. The energy is Bhima. The seed or the bija is Devi, Brahmari. The property is Surya. The form is that of Samaveda, and it is now utilized in the form of a chant to please Devi Mahasaraswati. Now we enter into Dhyanam. Bearing in her lotus hands a bell, a pike, a plough, a conch, a pestle, a discus, a bow and an arrow, whose radiance is like the moon in the autumn, whose appearance is most beautiful, who is manifested from the body of she who is the rays of light and is the foundation of the 3 worlds. That great Devi of all pervading knowledge who destroyed Rakshasas, I worship. Now, Om Klim Rishiruvacha. The Rishi spoke thus. In the ancient times, the 2 Rakshasas, Shumbha and Nishumbha, who with an inflated sense of their strength usurped Indra's sovereignty over the 3 worlds and his shares in the sacrifice. So these 2 Asuras, Shumbha and Nishumbha, they conquered Indra and then they occupied his seat. They not only took over the kingdom, they also did not allow him to take any shares in the yagya, and then they assumed the authority of Surya, of moon, of Kubera and also of Yama and Varuna, and made them all subservient. Further, the two of them also started discharging the functions of Vayu and Agni. So this way they started controlling all the natural laws of this infinite dharma. Now these two asuras, having defeated the Devas and occupied their kingdoms, they turned them away from the heaven, thoroughly humiliated and deprived of authority. Now, having been insulted by the two great asuras, the Devas remembered the invincible Devi and reflected on her, reflected on the Mother of Universe who had given them a boon. She gave them the boon that if they remembered in any time of adversity, she would come then and help them and eradicate the destroyers. Having thus thought of Devi, Mahadevi, then the Devas went to the Lord of the Mountains, Himalayas, and there they began to extol the goddess who is Vishnu Maya. They all stood there with folded hands and bowed heads and sang the praise to Devi. We bow to the goddess, to the great goddess, to the energy of that infinite goodness at all times. We bow and we bow. We bow to the nature, to the excellent one with discipline. We bow down to you, O Mother of the Universe. We bow to Raudra, we bow to Nitya and to Gauri. We bow to Dhatri, we bow to you again and again. We bow to Jyotsnamayi, to Chandurupini, and to the happiness. Continuously we bow and to bow. We bow and we bow to Devi, who is the welfare of all. We bow to Vriddhi, to Siddhi, to Nairitri, to the wealth which sustains the earth, and to Sharvani, to you, O Devi, we bow and we bow. We bow to Devi Durga, to Durgapara, to Sara, to Sarvakarini, to Khyati, to Krishna, to Dhumra Devi. Continually we bow and we bow. We bow to you, O Devi, who is exceedingly gentle, and to the exceedingly fierce we bow to her. We bow to the founder of the perceivable universe. We bow to Devi, who is all action. We bow and we bow. We bow again and again to the divine Devi, who is there in all existence, and who is addressed as the Maya of Vishnu, as Vishnu Maya, which means the perceivable form of the consciousness which pervades all. We bow to you, we bow to you. We bow to the divine Devi, who is designated consciousness in all existence and is known by the reflections of mind. We bow to her, we bow to her, we bow to her, and continually we bow. We bow to the divine Devi, who resides in all creatures in the form of intelligence, the Buddhi. We bow to her, we bow to her, we bow to her, Continually we bow and we bow. We bow to Devi, who abides in all living beings in the form of sleep. We bow to her, we bow to her, we bow to her, and continually we bow and we bow. We bow to Devi, who abides in all existence in the form of hunger. We bow to her, we bow to her, we bow to her, and continually we bow and we bow. We bow to Devi, who abides in all existence in the form of shadow. We bow to her, we bow to her, we bow to her. Continually we bow and we bow. We bow to Devi, who abides in all existence in the form of energy. We bow to her, we bow to her, we bow to her. Continually we bow and we bow. We bow to Devi, who abides in all existence in the form of thirst. We bow to her, we bow to her, we bow to her, and continually we bow and we bow. We bow to Devi, who abides in all existence in the form of forgiveness, patience, and forgiveness. We bow to her, we bow to her, we bow to her. Continually we bow and we bow. We bow to Devi, who abides in all existence in the form of all living beings. We bow to her, we bow to her, we bow to her. Continually we bow and we bow. Here she is every form of every living being. We bow to Devi, who dwells in all existence in the form of modesty. In the form of modesty, we bow to her, we bow to her, we bow to her. Continually we bow and we bow. We bow to Devi, who abides in all existence in the form of peace, in the form of eternal peace. We bow to her, we bow to her, and we bow to her. Continually we bow. We bow to Devi, who abides in all existence in the form of faith. We bow to her, we bow to her, and we bow to her. Continually we bow. Here the word faith is Shraddha. Here Shraddha is not just faith, it is a discipline, a devotion in addition to faith. We bow to Devi, who resides in all creatures in the form of beauty enhanced by infinite love. We bow to her, we bow to her, we bow to her. Continually we bow. We bow to Devi, who dwells in all existence in the form of true wealth. We bow to her, we bow to her, we bow to her. Continually we bow. Here, the true wealth means Ashtalakshmi. We bow to the Devi, who abides in all existence in the form of activity. We bow to her, we bow to her, we bow to her. Continually we bow. Here, the word activity is vritti. That means whatever is your professional activity and also your allotted duties. We bow to Devi, who abides in all existence in the form of memory. We bow to her, we bow to her, we bow to her. Continually we bow. Here memory is smriti, and smriti is much more than just ordinary memory. It is the memory of the well-being in the human physiology. It is the memory of all your past impressions or karmas. It is the infinite memory of everything that has happened and that is going on. We bow to Devi, who abides in all existence in the form of infinite compassion. We bow to her, we bow to her, we bow to her. Continually we bow. We bow to Devi, who abides in all existence in the form of contentment. We bow to her, we bow to her, we bow to her. Continually we bow. We bow to Devi, who abides in all existence in the form of Universal Mother, the infinite Universal Mother. We bow to her, we bow to her, we bow to her, continually we bow. We bow to Devi, who abides in all existence in the form of delusion, which can create the human error. We bow to her, we bow to her, we bow to her. Continually we bow. We bow to Devi, who presides over the senses of all living beings and pervades in all of existence. We bow to Devi, who is the omnipresent and all-pervading. We bow to Devi, who individualizes the whole of creation. We bow and we bow. We bow to Devi, who abides, having pervaded this, in the form of a mind, in the form of individual mind, and in the form of cosmic mind in all over the world. We bow to her, we bow to her, we bow to her. Continually we bow. In those days, in those ancient times, all of the gods led by Indra, who is the ruler of the pure Devas, sang these verses of praise for the purpose of accomplishing their desired objective. For many days, this service has been rendered by Deva. They further sang, "May she, the seer of all, the Lord of all, the source of all that is good, perform all that is good for all of us, bring auspicious things, and put an end to all the distress and misfortunes." They further said, "We Devas have been persecuted by arrogant thoughts in the manner of men. At this time, O Devi, all of us, Devas, bow in reverence to the seer of all. And when bowed with devotion, we remembered immediately that you are the one who can bring an end to our adversity." Now, the Rishi said, he was addressing the king, Suratha, and he said, "O king, just as the gods were singing that hymn of praise, then Mother Parvati came there to bathe in the Ganga." That supreme Devi with beautiful eyebrows asked the Devas, whose praise is being sung here? Then, from within herself, an auspicious form manifested and said, this beautiful form that manifested from Devi said, Shumbha and Nishumbha, two terrible asuras, have defeated these Devas and insulted them. And so all the Devas have collected here and are singing my praise. Since Ambika emerged from the body sheath of Parvati, she is known in all the worlds as Kausiki. After the manifestation of Kausiki, who came from within Parvati, the body of the Devi transformed into dark color and consequently became celebrated by the name of Kalika, who dwells in the Himalayas. Now you understand that Parvati became Kalika and the one who manifested from Parvati became Kausiki. Thereafter, the two servants of Shumbha and Nishumbha, who are known as self-conceit and self-deprecation, came there. And these servants' names are Chanda and Munda. And they saw the extremely beautiful form of Devi, the mother of the universe. Then Shumbha was informed by them, and they said, O great king, there is an exceedingly beautiful woman whose heavenly beauty is illuminating all of the Himalayas. O king, such a supreme form no one has ever before beheld. O mighty emperor, please find out who that goddess is and gain the possession of her. O mighty king, she is a jewel among women. Her every limb is excessively beautiful, and the radiant splendor of her body is brightening with light in all directions. O Lord of the Asuras, she is present there. You really must see her. O mighty king, you have many jewels and gems, the elephants, horses that exist from all the three worlds. They all shine here in your empire and in your house. You have the jewel of the elephants, Airavata. You have the jewel of the trees, Parijata. And you have the jewel of the horses, Uchchaisravas, taken from the Devas. You have this great wonderful vehicle which is yoked to swans, which before was with Brahma, and it has now been brought here and shines in your courtyard. You have taken the treasures from Kubera, and you have his great lotus. You have taken the treasures from the ocean, and was given you a garland of unwithering lotuses. You have the umbrella of Varuna, which showers down gold, and it stands in your house, and also the chosen chariot which belonged to Prajapati. From the Lord of Death, Yama, you have taken the supreme energy known as Utkrantida, and your brother Nishumbha has taken possession of the shining net of Samudra Deva. All of those wonderful things that were born of gems and belonged to the king of seas, the Samudra Deva, Nishumbha has taken. Agni Deva presented you 2 garments purified by the fire himself. O mighty Emperor, in this manner you have amassed all the valuable possessions, and all of the women of the finest jewel are with you. But this Devi that we have found, she is the finest of all. She is the goddess of welfare. Why don't you take possession of her? This Devi is the jewel, the crest jewel of all the women that there is. So, O mighty Emperor, please take possession of her. Now the Rishi said, having heard these words of Chanda and Munda, the self-conceited Shumbha sent for Sugriva, and he sent him as an envoy to Devi. He commanded Sugriva, with my permission, speak these words on my behalf to Devi. Speak to her pleasing words so that she will quickly come to me. Then the envoy went to that very beautiful mountainous region where Devi abided and spoke sweet words with a soft voice. The envoy said to Devi, O Devi, the mighty king Shumbha is the supreme lord of all the 3 worlds. I am the envoy sent by him to meet you. O Devi, all of the gods have been defeated by him, and all of the gods obey his commands. No one can violate his order. Listen to the message he has sent through me. The mighty Asura says that all the 3 worlds are under my authority, and all the gods comply with my every command. I personally enjoy the share of every sacrifice, yajna. All the finest jewels and the material things in all the 3 worlds are owned by me. I have taken Airavata, the jewel of the elephants, the carrier of Indra. The jewel of horses Uchchaishravas, born from the churning of the ocean, the Devas have reverentially surrendered at my feet. O beautiful Devi, beyond that, whatever other valuable possessions belong to the Devas, or to the Gandharvas, or to the serpents, Nagas, have been appropriated by me. O Devi, we consider you to be the jewel of all women in the world. Therefore, you come to us because we are the enjoyers of all the jewels and of all the material things. O beautiful Devi, with one who is chanchala, that means who has a gaze which constantly changes, come and serve me or my extremely valiant brother Nishumbha. We want you because you are the very essence of jewels. O Devi, by taking me, you will achieve supreme unparalleled glory. Now reflect with your intelligence, with your buddhi, and become my wife. Now the envoy has conveyed the message of Shumbha, And now the Rishi is speaking. This beautiful Devi, who is blessed and auspicious, and who removes all the difficulties, and by whom this whole universe is supported, spoke softly, thoughtfully, and with a deep inner smile. Devi said as follows: O envoy, all that you have said is true without an iota of falsehood. Shumbha is the master of the three worlds and equally valiant to Nishumbha. But in this matter, because of my little intelligence, I have already undertaken an oath to which I cannot be untrue. Let me inform you what that oath is. I have taken the oath that he who conquers me in battle and he who overcomes my pride and whose strength is comparable to mine in this world, he will be my consort. Therefore, let Shumbha and Nishumbha come here. Having conquered me, he will then readily take my hand in marriage. And now what is the necessity for delay? Having heard Devi, what Devi had to say, then the envoy said this: O Devi, you are filled with arrogance. Do not speak in this manner in front of me. In the three worlds, there is not a man who can stand against Shumbha and Nishumbha. O Devi, all of the devas and gods cannot stand these asuras in battle. What merit have you as a woman who is all alone? All of the devas, led by Indra, could not stand up to Shumbha. How will you, a mere woman, go into battle with them? So, O Devi, you go to Shumbha and Nishumbha by yourself and because of what I said. In this way, you will protect your dignity. Otherwise, you will be grabbed by the hair and dragged to the mighty ones, and you will lose your honor. Now, having heard what the envoy has to say, Devi replied thus: O envoy, what you say is true. Shumbha is very strong, and Nishumbha too is valiant warrior. But what can I do? Without much thinking, I have undertaken this oath. Now you go and narrate everything that I have said to the king of these asuras. Then let him do what he thinks is appropriate. Now here ends the fifth chapter with this swasti. Om, well-being to all. This is the fifth chapter named Devya Dyuta Samvada from Devi Mahatmyam in Savarnika Manvantara in Markandeya Purana. Now listen to the beautiful recitation and see if you can transcend with the recitation. I end here. Jai Gurudev, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu.
Saraswatye Namaha.
त्वामदिं देवा हिमवन्तं नगेश्वरम् जग्मुस्तत्र ततो देवीं विष्णुमायां प्रदुष्टुः देवावोचुः नमो देव्यै महादेव्यै शिवायै सततं नमः नमः प्रकृत्यै भद्रायै नियताः प्रणतास्मदाम् रौद्रायै नमो नित्यायै गौर्यै धात्र्यै नमो नमः ज्योत्स्नायै चेन्दुरोपिण्यै सुखायै सततं नमः कल्याण्यै प्रणतामृत्यै सिद्ध्यै कूर्म्यै नमो नमः नैरत्यै मोघ्रतां लक्ष्म्यै शर्वाण्यै ते नमो नमः दुर्गायै दुर्गपारायै सारायै सर्वकारिण्यै ख्यात्यै तथैव कृष्णायै धूम्रायै सततं नमः अतिसौम्यातिरौद्रायै नतास्तस्यै नमो नमः नमो जगत्प्रतिष्ठायै देव्यै कृत्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु विष्णुमायेति शब्दिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु विष्णुमायेति शब्दिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु विष्णुमायेति शब्दिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु चेतनेत्यभिधीयते नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु चेतनेत्यभिधीयते नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु चेतनेत्यभिधीयते नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु बुद्धिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु बुद्धिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु बुद्धिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु निद्रारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु निद्रारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु निद्रारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु क्षुधारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु क्षुधारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु क्षुधारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु छायारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु छायारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु छायारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो सर्वभूतेषु जातिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु जातिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु जातिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु लज्जारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु लज्जारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु लज्जारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शान्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शान्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शान्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु श्रद्धारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु श्रद्धारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु श्रद्धारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु कान्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु कान्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु कान्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु लक्ष्मीरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु लक्ष्मीरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु लक्ष्मीरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु वृत्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु वृत्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु वृत्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु स्मृतिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु चितिरूपेण या कृत्स्नमेतद्व्याप्य स्थिता जगत् नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः चितिरूपेण या कृत्स्नमेतद्व्याप्य स्थिता जगत् नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः तुतासुरै पूर्वमभीष्टसंश्रयात् तथा सुरेन्द्रेण दिनेषु सेविता करोतु सा नः शुभहेतुरीश्वरी शुभानि भद्राण्यभिहन्तु जापदः या साम्प्रतम् चोत्थदैत्यतापितैः अस्माभिरीशा च सुरैर्नमस्यते या च स्पृहा तत्क्षणमेव हन्ति नः सर्वापदो भक्तिविनम्रमूर्तिभिः ऋषिरुवाच एवं स्तवादियुक्तानाम् देवानाम् तत्र पार्वती स्नातुमभ्याययौ तो ये जाह्नव्या नृपनन्दना सा ब्रवीतान् सुरान् शुभ्रोर्भवद्भिः स्तूयतेऽत्रका शरीरकोशरश्चास्यास्तमद्भूता ब्रवीच्छिवा स्तोत्रम् ममैतत्क्रियते शुम्भदैत्यनिराकृतैः देवैः समेतैः समरैः निशुम्भेन पराजितैः शरीरकोशाद्यत्तस्याः पार्वत्या निःसृताम्बिका कौशिकीति समस्तेषु ततो लोकेषु गीयते तस्याम् विनिर्गतायाम् तु कृष्णाभूत्सापि पार्वती कालिकेति समाख्याता हिमाचलकृताश्रया ततोऽम्बिकाम् परम् रूपम् बिभ्राणाम् सुमनोहरम् ददर्शचण्डो मुण्डश्च मृत्योशम्भनिशुम्भयोः ताभ्याम् शुम्भाय चाख्याता सातीव सुमनोहरा काप्यास्ते स्त्रीमहाराजा भासयन्ते हिमाचलम् नैव तादृक्वचिद्रूपम् दृष्टम् केनचिदुत्तमम् ज्ञायताम् काप्यसौ देवी गृह्यताम् च सुरेश्वरा स्त्रीरत्नमतिजार्भङ्गी द्योतयन्ते दिशत्विषा सा तु तिष्ठति दैत्येन्द्र ताम् भवान् द्रष्टुमर्हति यानि रत्नानि मणयो गजाश्वादीनि मयि प्रभो त्रैलोक्ये तु समस्तानि साम्प्रतम् भान्ति ते गृहे ऐरावतः समानीतो गजरत्नम् पुरन्दरात् पारिजाततरुष्टायम् तथैवोच्छैश्रवाहयः विमानम् हंससंयुक्तमेतत्तिष्ठति तेऽङ्गणे रत्नभूतमिहानीतै यदासीद्वेधसोऽद्भुतम् निधिरेश महापद्मः समानीतो धनेश्वरात् किञ्जल्किनीम् ददौ चाब्धिर्मालामम्लानपङ्कजाम् छत्रम् देवारुणङ्गेः काञ्चनस्रावितिष्ठति तथा यम् स्यन्दनवरो यः पुरासीत् प्रजापतेः मृत्योरुत्क्रान्तिदा नामा शक्तिरेष त्वया हृता पाशासलिलराजस्य भ्रातुस्तव परिग्रहे निशुम्भस्याब्धिजाताश्च समस्ता रत्नजातयः वह्निरपि ददौ तुभ्यामग्निशौचे च वाससि एवम् दैत्येन्द्ररत्नानि समस्तान्याहृतानि ते स्त्रीरत्नमेषा कल्याणी त्वया कस्मान्न गृह्यते ऋषिरुवाच निशम्येते वचः शुम्भः सतला चण्डमुण्डयोः प्रे यथा चाभ्येति सम्प्रीत्या तथा कार्यम् त्वया लघो स तत्र गत्वा यत्रास्ते शैलोद्देशे दिशोभने ताम् च देवीम् ततः प्राह श्लक्ष्णम् मधुरया गिरा दूत उवाच देवि दैत्येश्वरः शुम्भस्त्रैलोक्ये परमेश्वरः दूतोऽहम् प्रेषितस्तेन त्वत्सकाशमिहागतः अव्याहताज्ञः सर्वासु यः सदा देवयोनिशो निर्जिताखिलदैत्यारिः स यदाह शृणुष्व तत् मम त्रैलोक्यमखिलम् मम देवावशानुगाः यज्ञभागानहम् सर्वानुपाश्नामि पृथक् पृथक् त्रैलोक्ये वररत्नानि मम वश्यान्यशेषतः तथैव गजरत्नम् च हृतम् देवेन्द्रवाहनम् क्षीरोदमथनोद्भूतमश्वरत्नम् ममामरैः उच्चैश्रवससंज्ञम् तत्प्रणिपत्य समर्पितम् यानि धान्यानि देवेषु गन्धर्वेषु रगेषु च रत्नभूतानि भूतानि तानि मय्येव शोभने स्त्रीरत्नभूताम् त्वाम् देवि लोके मन्यामहे वयम् सा त्वमस्मानुपागच्छ यतो रत्नभुजो वयम् माम् वा ममानुजम् वापि निशुम्भगुरुविक्रमम् भज त्वम् चञ्चलापाङ्गे रत्नभूतासि वैयतः परमैश्वर्यमतुलम् प्राप्स्यते मत्परिग्रहात् एतद्बुद्ध्या समालोच्य मत्परिग्रहताम् व्रजा ऋषिर्वाच इत्युक्ता सा तदा देवी गम्भीरान्दस्मिता जगो दुर्गा भगवती भद्रा ययेदम् धार्यते जगत् देव्युवाच सत्यमुक्तम् त्वया नात्रा मिथ्या किञ्चित् त्वयोदितम् त्रैलोक्याधिपतिः शुम्भो निशुम्भश्चापि तादृशः किम् त्वत्र यत्प्रतिज्ञातम् मिथ्या तत्क्रियते कथम् श्रूयतामल्पबुद्धित्वात् प्रतिज्ञाया कृता पुरा यो वाञ्छयति सङ्ग्रामे यो मे दर्पम् व्यपोहति यो मे प्रतिपदो लोके स मे भर्ता भविष्यति